The part of the Accenture layoffs that I really want to focus on is this piece of the headline: 11,000 people laid off. The CEO says that he has exited these employees because they cannot be retrained for AI. What? I have many things to say about this. I've studied AI training in the workplace, but the absolute dangerous precedent that this sets for all subsequent layoffs and corporate restructurings and so many things around like AI and job displacement is staggering, because not only is this like wildly dehumanizing because it's treating people like hardware, like old hardware that cannot be upgraded, and let's just get something new. Number one. Number two, it's this very false dichotomy between looking at the entire employee, like labor force, as either compliant or obsolete. This is not, those are not the two categories that we should be thinking about here. And yet, that's the reason given. Whether or not it's true, my questions would be around what time, capital, and expertise have you invested into your employees' reskilling and retraining for AI? That's my question, sir. I haven't even checked if it's a sir, I just assumed. But this is just, I really worry that this is such a dangerous, dangerous precedent.
Hey, beautiful people, welcome back to my YouTube channel. Thank you for stopping by. So, all credit goes to the creators in this video. So, Accenture is one of the largest consulting companies in the world, with hundreds of thousands of employees across many countries. So recently the company announced something very big, that to lay off about 11,000 workers. Guys, 11,000 workers. This is not a small number. It means thousands of families around the world will be affected. And this layoff will happen over the next few months, and it will mostly affect people in support or office roles rather than those working directly with clients. Now, the official reason Accenture gave is that the company needs to cut costs, they need to reorganize. The leader said the company is under pressure from slowing demand, meaning clients are not spending as much money on consulting as before. And when clients reduce spending, consulting companies like this, they make less money. So in other words, the company is trying to make, leaner policies so that it can run profitably in tough times, guys. And also, this layoff is not about cutting costs, right? At the same time, the company is reducing jobs because they are investing a lot in other new areas. They have been talking about moving strongly into artificial intelligence, cloud computing, and other digital transformation. Like, is there no a way to move into these things and still let people keep their jobs? Because while some roles are being cut, others are being created. Guys, this company, they seem to be preparing for the future, because the future is AI, and this is coming at the cost of people's jobs. What do you think about this in the comment section? Let me know. Let's see what these other creators have to say.
Have let go of 11,000 people over a 3-month period as part of a almost $1 billion restructuring program. Now, the rationale for it is very simple. They completely acknowledge and understand that they don't need as many people going forward in light of the dramatic and very, very aggressive advancement of AI as a technology. The reality is, guys, the core business, and I've said this a million times, of these professional consulting firms, right, is number of people multiplied by their day rate multiplied by the length of the project. That's how they generate revenue. They put people onto projects for a period of time according to a day rate. Very simple stuff. And the reality is that even basic ChatGPT and LLMs of sort reduce the need for those people and reduce the amount of time they're on there. And of course, as a result of which, the price of those people will also reduce. So guys, I think Accenture, and I said this when PwC let go of X amount of people recently in the Middle East, this is going to be a trend. I think there's going to be a recalibration of consulting firms. I think not just at a number of people, but also at a value proposition level. I just can't understand how and why consulting firms could continue to do the same. Now, of course, there will be some that kind of navigate this better than others. But when you're as big as these guys, the Big Four and some of the other strategy consulting firms, there's nothing you can do but reduce the number of people. Now, I don't want to talk about doom and gloom too much, right? But I have to. So I'm going to add one extra layer to it. I have never seen the amount of resentment there is for management consultants like I have today. Clients are just not satisfied with the services that the vast majority of consulting firms are offering. They want something more tangible than just advice. So again, there's the AI component and there is the kind of scrutiny under which consulting firms are operating, the price of which and so on. So it's a bit of a double whammy for most consulting firms, and I don't think this will be.
This might be a career limiting move, but I have to say, I'm mortified at what Julie Sweet, the CEO of Accenture, has just said this week. Accenture is going to exit staff who can't be retrained for the age of AI. And after already firing 11,000 people in the past 3 months, I'm sitting here in airport and about to board a flight, and the rage is burning through me. Like, I know Paddy McCord, the whole Netflix playbook. Companies aren't families, they're high-performing teams. Fine, I get it. But there's a big difference between being honest about performance and being brazen about discarding the very people who have and do create your value. And the contempt in this rhetoric is staggering. Just a few years ago, we were talking about growth mindsets and learning cultures, and now corporate fear as a management strategy. And look, I'm not expecting kumbaya. If someone isn't performing, deal with that. But don't hide behind market downturns while reporting record profits, 7% revenue upside in 2025 for Accenture, and then thriving on the desperation of staff and delivering terrible outcomes. So MIT's own research shows that a 95% failure rate in enterprise transformation, of which Accenture is a big player. And don't blame employees that you failed to train. That failure is on you. As leaders, nobody can't be trained. That's such a pathetic excuse. And the timing is telling. After COVID, workers had leverage, remote work gave balance, and a labour shortage gave people negotiating power. CEOs lost control, and now the message is you can't be trusted to work from home. Despite the data showing return to office doesn't improve performance, it only accelerates attrition. And now the threat will build machines to make you disposable. And by the way, you'll train them. It's punitive retaliation, because when corporations chase transformation purely for increasing private profit without any regard for the dignity of work, they shred the social fabric. Can someone please hand these people a history book? Work isn't just a paycheck. It's purpose, it's connection, it's cohesion, and it's the contract that weaves us together. And here's the irony. There is an abundance in this world. Technology can unlock it, but abundance requires imagination. It requires acting in the common good. And it requires leaders who create value with people, not against them. And you have to call out the narcissism, the corporate psychopathy when we see it. Otherwise, the promise of AI, the real promise, gets lost in the power play.
So AI has a part to play in these layoffs, because looking at what the company said itself, they said that many of the roles are being cut because they are tied to older skills that are not useful anymore. And in their defense, they said some of these jobs can be replaced or supported by automation, because if certain tasks can be done faster and cheaper by AI tools, these companies may not need as many human workers to do some tasks. So according to them, they have trained more than 500,000 of its employees in the basics of generative AI, but they have also, nearly doubled their team of AI and data specialists, meaning they do not need humans anymore. And the direction is clear. They are moving towards AI. They are moving more towards AI. I mean, I'm sure they must have been using it before. And they're saying that not every worker can be retained, because not every worker can be retrained quickly enough. Because in their defense, the gap between the old skills and the new skill is too big. Because, okay, looking at, for example, now, somebody that has done traditional reports working for years may find it difficult to become an AI engineer in their defense, meaning they are saying that change happens so fast and not everybody can catch up. Guys, what do you think about this in the comment section? Because once something, awful like this happens, the ripple effect just goes on and on and on. And so many people are always caught in the middle of it. Because for these workers who are being laid off, this is a very difficult news, not even in this kind of era. Let me know your thoughts, guys, and I'll see you
Have
soon.
just told their staff either you learn AI or you get out of here, man. And here's why that matters. This for me isn't just about company policy. For me, this gives you a future glimpse into what consulting will probably look like over the next 10, 15, maybe even 20 years. Now, today consulting is built on frameworks, PowerPoint, a bit of research, past experiences, and of course SME insights. That's been the toolkit for decades. But in the immediate future, for me, it's frameworks, PowerPoint, obviously powered by AI. AI makes already today consulting faster, more in depth. So we're talking about market analysis in hours rather than weeks, and financial models in minutes, not days. That's already happening. And for me, that will continue in the short term. But the longer term future could look even more different. We might not even see armies of analysts anymore. And that's kind of my prediction. We might see AI co-pilots running diagnostics across the entire organization, consultants shift from crunching data to helping leaders understand, trust, and act on it. And that's why I always say learn the language of decision makers, because that part of the value chain of consulting won't change. It will be people advising leaders, right? So Accenture's learn AI or get out isn't just a threat. It's the first sign of what's coming, I think, in the future of consulting, which is going to be faster and much more deeper. And like I said, I'm already doing this. In fact, I'm in Abu Dhabi right now. I'm working with a consulting firm to help them kind of prepare for their trajectory and their growth in light of what's happening in the market around them. And I really do feel this is a very unique time for local consulting firms to reposition themselves as cultural experts who understand the realities on the ground, who have a stake in the game as well. And multiply that with AI, you're going to be on a winning formula where I do feel these big consulting firms which have this monopoly will start to shrink. That's my prediction anyway, especially in the region. Let me know what you guys think. Yalla, assalamu alaikum.
I don't think a lot of people in corporate America really understand what's going to happen over the next 12 to 18 months, particularly at really large corporate companies. They're calling it the Great Restructuring. And essentially what they're doing is looking at each position, each role within the company, and looking at what the processes are and seeing where the repetitive work is. And they're figuring out whether or not they can augment or even replace positions with technology, with AI. And so if you're doing a job that has a lot of repetitive tasks, or maybe you're working on a lot of cross-functional teams and you're working on projects that are taking years and years, companies are actively looking at how they can replace you. They're looking about how they can get the same amount of work or more work done with less people. You see, the most expensive part of any company is the people. And that's why we see these mass layoffs. And so over the next 12 to 18 months, we are going to continue to see large layoffs. So if you're working at a really big company or you know someone who is, you need to pay attention to this. You need to figure out whether or not you're doing a lot of repetitive work. And if you are, you need to know that you are at high risk of getting laid off. It's absolutely crazy.
Just laid off 11,000 people citing AI. I think it's just the beginning, unfortunately. And I also don't think it's just because of AI efficiency within Accenture itself, but I actually think it's because the efficiency gains from AI in their clients. So their clients are becoming more efficient. They need Accenture less and less. That is resulting into Accenture doing these layoffs. They do warn that they are expecting additional layoffs due to AI. So I think it's really only the beginning. The whole AI layoffs has just begun. Time to start building.
Guys, losing a job is always stressful. Like, it's always stressful. Not to talk of today's uncertain economy, it is even scarier because thousands of people don't even know what is gonna happen. They have to start looking for those that don't even have a plan B or C. They have to start looking for plan B or C because they don't even know. Maybe when they wake up tomorrow morning, the first thing they'll see in their email is their termination letter. So, and many people try to find jobs at other consulting firms. Some try to learn new skills, especially in AI and digital work. And many people struggle to find a new pathway quickly because let's just face it, right? Times are hard right now. And beyond all these 11,000, beyond all these numbers, they are real people and they are real family, guys. So many things are going to happen. But at the same time, right, it just means that jobs in the future will be very, very different from the jobs that we have now and the jobs that we have always had in the past, because skills that were once valuable nowadays it is not even enough, right? And at the same time, okay, new opportunities are opening up for those that can adapt. Guys, let's just, apart from this layoff thing, let's just pick out one lesson here, because the lesson is that workers will need to keep learning and learning and learning, right, and updating their skills, and to know that there's nothing like job security any longer, because looks like it's about staying relevant right now, because all these companies will keep moving towards AI, and at a point in time they will just say they no longer need humans again, that they have AI, they have robots to run this whole thing. So what you can do right now as an employee is to just keep learning new skills so that you can just feel relevant. It might be difficult, but it should pay at the end of the day, right? And for these companies, I mean, they should bend a little, right? I mean, these are people that have slept for you for a long time. So because you want to make profits, you just kick them out. I mean, to an extent, it's really unfair. Anyways, let me know your thoughts in the comments, guys. I really want to hear from you. And if you have found value in this video, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. And I'll see you in my next video. Please stay safe. Ciao.